Let's talk about all the things. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tabby Talks. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tabby. So, there is so much information that I have been, you know, giving and putting out to you, and the concepts are so loaded that I wanted to make this video to explain a little bit about my core beliefs, what I really perceive as our reality, and I'm going to talk about how important your self concept is. So, if you are trying to change circumstances in your life, if there are things that you are wanting, you can call it manifesting, whatever it is, I'm going to tell you what you need to do to make that happen. So, stay tuned. All right, this is going to be a long one. I'm going to probably break it up into clips and you'll find the full extended over at YouTube. And I might have to stop it because I know sometimes I have the ability to go off on tangents, and today I'm just trying to get you the information exactly the way you need to hear it. So, first and foremost, it is imperative that you understand and know, if you haven't heard already, that we're going to talk quantum physics, quantum realities, multiple realities, okay? And that is a very foreign concept for some. I know that it's taken me a really long time to fully understand and embody this knowing, because it is a knowing. It is a knowing. And what I'm talking about is the concept that there are multiple realities. You have multiple realities. You are a multi-dimensional being. I know in my last video I talked about you have a soul, and even that was super limiting because you think you're one soul with one body. But the truth is there are infinite possibilities. And the only reason we see otherwise is because we have limited beliefs. We only are focused in one specific reality. But I will tell you that literally you shift in and out of realities all day, every day, millions of seconds at a time. Like, you make a decision of something when you make a decision, you are now looking at the reality of what that decision includes. You're looking at the people, the circumstances, the things, of all the things that reality includes. But our brains are so unbelievably powerful, and there is an illusion outside of us that you don't perceive the change in your reality. But you can literally probably measure this, like, in, switching day to day, how your mood changes, how you can probably think back to a time in your life when you are not even the same person that you were then, or you are, today you're sky high and tomorrow you're low, very low down in your feelings. And it is a very big concept to try to grasp, but it is essential that you understand that in order to be able to apply some of the things that I talk about. Because the other thing I talk about often is your mind sight. And I'm emphasizing sight because my captions tend to say mindset. Mindset is good, but I like mindset even better because you're using your real eyes, your real eyes, to realize that what you imagine is what ends up showing up in your reality, okay? So, your imagination is so unbelievably powerful. And for those of you who like conspiracy theories, I'll tell you what, this is one of the reasons that we don't know, that we were not taught these things. This is one of the reasons that our collective society isn't talking about these things, is because we are so powerful that we're unstoppable, we're unshakable. We can literally create things with our minds. And we do. We look at everything around you. It has started with a thought. The only thing is you believe that it only applies to things you can make and manufacture. Wow, I wonder who that's benefiting. You can only use your thoughts to create the things that can be purchased and consumed by people. That is just funny, actually. Very comical to me. Anyway, so you are creating your reality. Millisecond at a time. It's all about who you're being. And I know that there was something that I wanted to go with that, and my train, it derailed slightly. However, we're going to keep going. And so, all right, creating our realities, you're using your mind sight, and your mind sight is your imagination. And if you can imagine a future event, That is like a parallel reality. And that's another concept that we're going to cover. How time is an illusion. There truly isn't the past, the present, the future. It's all time is an illusion. It is something that we use to help give us a sense, like a point of direction. Like it's relevant because in order to have a human experience, we need a metric that we can measure by. And so we choose to perceive time as a, second to minute to hour to day to week to month to year. We choose to perceive it that way. And if you don't believe me, how often have you been doing something and you're like, oh my God, time is dragging by? Is it actually going any slower than it has any other day? No. Or how about when time flies by and the minutes, the second, nothing changed. It was just your awareness of it, okay? So trust and believe and know there's going to be so many more videos that I have to talk about these things in itself. And I'm really excited about that. But for today's video, I am trying to focus. I'm trying to give you a baseline, foundational understanding of reality. So there's multiple realities. You create from your mind all future possibilities. You can actually recreate things. Haven't you ever talked to somebody and you're like, yeah, this happened this way. And they're like, oh no, it was this way. And you're like, no, it wasn't. Like I was there. We all have the ability to perceive things from a different perspective. Okay. So multiple realities, we're using our mind sight. Oh, another fun thing. Haven't you ever had your keys and you know with 100% certainty that you set them in a specific spot, and then later on you discover them in a completely different spot and you're like, I know that I didn't put those there. Or maybe it's, it could be your cell phone, it could be anything. How many times, where's my cell phone? And it's in your own hand. Those are not, I know you think it's a coincidence, but that's the magic. That's the magic. And let me be the first to tell you, there is no real logic to this shit. There is no real logic to the shit that I'm talking about. This is conceptual. This is magic in the making. This is not, it can be understood to a degree so that we can use it to help it, create better. But the truth is, the depth to this is simple and so beyond human conception because it requires faith in the unseen. It requires believing that what is going on inside of you is more real than what's going on outside of you. Okay? So, yeah, there's no logic to this shit. None. So just know that. So if your brain is going, well, how can this be? No, it's pointless to even ask the question. I mean, I'll do my best to answer it for you, but it's because it just is. And if you could take time to reflect back on your life, the circumstances, the interactions you've had with people, you will realize that you have had the power to create your life all along. So, quantum realities, quantum shifting, which you're doing constantly, using your mind sight, and then I want to talk about your emotions, okay? Your emotions, and I have been studying this stuff for years. I mean, kind of all throughout my entire life, but it is finally coming to a place of I feel confident to teach it. So that's why I'm here. But one of the sources, and she talks about it wonderfully, is Abraham Hicks, okay? And this is talking about, she has a great concept, and it took me a long time to fully comprehend it the way that I do today in order to explain it to you. And what she says is that your emotions are like a guidance system, like a GPS guidance system. All right, and this video is going to cut off, and I'm going to start another one, so I'm going to pause here so I don't lose my train of thought. We'll go back in a second. Okay, so your emotions are like your emotional guidance system. So basically, your higher self, okay, the part of you that is like connected to God, to source, though, and that's something we are going to talk about as well because it's so much greater than you realize that, but I will explain. Your emotional guidance system. Your emotions are part of the built-in way for you to navigate the world, to navigate Earth, to navigate the simulation, to navigate reality, whatever you want to call it, to navigate your life. There's a scale, an emotional scale, and I'll try to drop it in the description because there is a specific name for it. And basically, it's talking about that your emotions can be measured, okay? So when you're at, like, if you think of a ladder, and at the very bottom of that ladder is like actually I think it's even lower than depression, but just because I'm summarizing, painting a picture, like think of depression, hopelessness, anger, things like that. So you got like at the very bottom of the ladder, those are like the lowest emotions, and then you have emotions in the middle, which is like feeling hopeful, feeling optimistic, feeling relief, things like that, okay? And then it goes up even higher, like feeling joy, feeling excitement, feeling enthusiasm. So these emotions, okay, if you are in the top range of the emotions and you are feeling peace, joy, bliss, happiness, love, those are what your being truly is, like your soul being, okay? So who you are beyond the human, your mind, what could be up here, right? That is who you are. That is who you are. So anytime an emotion comes up and it's not in that is your body, your body's way, your emotions way of letting know that you are out of alignment with the truth of who you are. She says that means your God or your source energy feels differently about the situation. So you can use your emotions to help to get you back. And if it helps you feel better, if you find yourself in a really low state and going, if this means that God or my source or the universe or whatever you want to call it feels differently than I do about the situation, then this must not be true. This must be a perspective that's skewed, okay? And this is the part where now that I heard that before, and I'm like, okay, well, I've had some pain in my life. So you're telling me whenever I was sad, God didn't feel that way, or my source didn't feel that way, didn't agree with me that this was a sad situation? Well, now I know why. And it's because, and we're going to go into it, it's all about who you are being. It's all about who you're being. The stuff that happened in the past, it all led you, all of that stuff happened to get you to realize who you are, to get you to come back to yourself, so that you would know your own power, so that you could create consciously, so you could wake up. That is the point of all of those things. Yes, was it bad? Yes. Did it hurt? Yes. Was it unfair? Yes. All the things, okay? However, what did you allow those moments and those things to tell you about you? What did you allow those depressed moments? How did you allow those circumstances to lead you to make choices of not taking care of yourself, to depriving your own self of sleep, to not making sure that you're taking care of your body, to not keeping yourself in the company of good people? So when something has happened, what did you do? What did you allow that to tell you about you? What did you allow? How did you let those circumstances change your life? Did you lean into those emotions and say, oh, this is who I am? I know you didn't. And I don't mean that to sound heartless. I have gone enough. I have been through all of these places, and that is why I can talk about it so confidently, is because I've been there. I know what my mind was thinking. I know what I was believing about myself without even realizing that I was believing it about myself. And that is what I'm trying to try to get you to see, is that your self-concept is the most important thing. The stuff on the outside, waiting for somebody on the outside to give you the green light, to give yourself permission to be all of the things, is ludicrous. And I understand why we've done it in the past, because you have to look up to your parents. They're the ones telling you right, wrong, blah, blah, blah. And I get it. I do understand how we got it twisted. kind of understand how we got it twisted because nobody ever taught us these things. That's what it boils down to. We were never taught. And if somebody did try to teach us and we weren't in the right frame of mind to fully grasp it, then we still wouldn't have gotten it. You don't know what you don't know. Now you know. So if there is something that you are wanting, if there is something that you are waiting for, like when this happens, then I will fill blank. I'll feel whole. Once that number is in the bank account, then I will feel rich. Once I get that job, then I'll feel worthy. Once my kids get to this place, then I can finally be happy and free. Once my business blows up, then I can finally consider myself successful. Waiting on green lights. You are the fucking green light, okay? Sorry for the swearing. I get super excited. There's sometimes no other way to say it. You are the fucking green light. Be the green light in your life. If there is something that you want, the only thing you need to do is focus on yourself. That's it. Your self-concept. Write down all of the things that people have made you feel. Just a quick exercise. Think over the course of your life. Anytime that somebody has made you feel bad, like we could talk about people make me feel like take advantage of me, okay? So what I want you to do is create a little list. Create a little list of all of the ways people have made you feel. Because what I'm trying to tell you when I say it's who you're being, I expect that those beliefs that you have, you don't even realize that that is the belief that you have. So let's say I'm feeling unappreciated, okay? I write down, I have felt from other people, I've felt unappreciated, okay? That means that I have a belief that I am not worthy, that I am not lovable enough or prioritized. There could be a number of reasons as to why I would feel like I could think it all comes back to self. So what I want you to do is write down any time you've ever felt like I've felt unloved. I have felt unappreciated. I have felt taken advantage of. I have felt not lovable. I have felt not liked. Think about when you go to school, those things. And then next to that column, you need to write what is true. Because I'm telling you, those beliefs on the left side of your page, because I'm just telling you, just write it on the left side because that makes the most sense to me. All the things on the left side of the page, that's who you've been being. So if you've felt unsupported, unloved, overworked, alone, that you have to do it all on your own, everybody in your life will show up. So your job right now is to work on your self-concept. Okay, when I did that video, let me tell you who you are. You need to hear that video. You are all that is. As within, so without. That is the message that you have to understand. Everything comes from you and out of you. It's you pushed out. So if you felt unloved, unsupportive, fat, ugly, betrayed, you need to take the right side, and I can help you with this list because I will tell you it is sometimes hard to think of the opposite. What is the opposite of this? Obviously, if you felt unloved, you are love. You are love itself. You're the source of love. So you need to give yourself what it is in order, and then you will just watch your world change, okay? Hold on, I gotta stop this and start again. I vape, just so you know. So I'm going to do that because I just need a minute to catch my breath. If you've ever felt not good enough, that somebody's smarter than you, you need to love on yourself the way that you are looking for other people to love on yourself. You almost have to have like a I don't care mentality. Because when you don't really care about something, and I'm not talking about like you're hating on it, but like when truly you're like, yeah, I don't care. It's because you know. It's because you know. So you literally have to erase past memories, past circumstances that have only validated those things that you believed about yourself, okay? In fact, When I was talking about time as an illusion, the past, the future, the only thing that exists right now is the present moment. That's actually it. When you're thinking about the past, the only thing you're doing is bringing it into the future in this moment, because it was done as soon as it was done. It was done as soon as this situation was done. You are the one that kept the situation alive and kept perpetuating it. So you had a bad day or you got hurt. It only happened during that moment, and it hasn't been happening ever since there. But by focusing on the past, hurts, beliefs, insecurities, fears, you are bringing it into your present, and you're allowing yourself to still be hurt by that circumstance. And yes, we should talk about forgiveness at another point, because that's not today's video. But understand, you have the ability to go back and rewrite that story. And you could say, well, how can I do that? Because it's a memory. Well, guess what? It's a memory. It's a memory, meaning it's just a thought. It's just a scene playing out in your brain. So rewrite it. If it already happened, then you don't have to, you could just accept that it happened the way it did. So then never think about it again. Or how about, instead of hurting your own self over and over by thinking on thought loops of things that have happened in the past, rewrite the damn story. You can do that. I'm here to tell you, you can do that. There is no law against rewriting situation and making it go the way it is. There is no harm in imagining somebody to tell you what you wanted to hear. There is no law against that at all. In fact, there's a lot of laws, universal laws of attraction, that says what you focus on, you get more of. Yeah. So if you're focusing on things that happened in the past, or you're focusing on things that you're worried about in the future, you're only bringing it into your now moment. And in that moment, when you are thinking and reacting emotionally to those stories or that situation that you're talking about, you are literally only hurting yourself, and you're being the person. You're carrying the weight of that hurt with you, and it is affecting and clouding your vision. They talk about somebody who sees through rose-colored glasses. If we could only all be so damn lucky. Because when you could see the world as like loving and beautiful, and you can look at a situation and say, that happened for me. That wasn't to hurt me. That was to strengthen me. That was to get me to come to this place in my life. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. And so what I want you to do, if there is something that you want, tell me what it is. I'm going to help you get it. But I will tell you, the first step is stop telling the old story and focus on yourself. Give yourself the love. If you can imagine what it is that you want, guess what? It's already done. In some parallel reality, universe, if you want to call it in the future, whatever, it's already done. If you can imagine it, it's already done. It's already created, and now you just have to go through the time illusion until it shows up. Yes, the circumstances, the situations, things will unfold naturally. And I will tell you, it is not your job to figure out how it unfolds. So I'm telling you, your thoughts are creating your reality, but it is not your job to watch how it unfolds. You just have to know that it's already done. You have to know that you are deserving of everything that you want. What you want also wants you. What you desire also desires you. Everything is working for you. So if you can just love on yourself every single day, I want you to do this morning, the first thing when you wake up in the morning, and when you go to bed. And if you can do it in the afternoon, even better. And then when you're doing anything, just start loving on yourself. I am amazing. I am a good person. All of the things, like think of the best person that you know in your life and all of the qualities that they embody. Like if you're like, well, I don't know what to say about myself. Think of somebody, think of an actor in a movie. Think of, what does a person who is the epitome of perfection embody to you? What qualities do they have? And tell yourself that you are those things. And then you could be like, oh, well, why am I lying to myself? Guess what? You've been doing it to yourself anyways. You have been not so humble in talking badly about yourself and other people. You have no problem beating yourself up when you're sad, saying, "What's wrong with me?" You have no problem, thinking the worst, wishing that you could go back and change the things that you've done. You talk so negatively. You worry that other people are going to judge you and not like you before you even go into a room. Like, that's crazy. You are literally giving yourself negative self-talk and not even realizing that it's self-talk. So be delusional. Allow yourself to don't be humble. Say, "I am the fucking prize. I am a gift. I am amazing. I am majestic. I am all these things." Like, put it out there. You are. Everything stems from you pushed out. So get your self-concept right. Love on yourself all day long. And let me tell you, mainstream music, there can be some really powerful stuff. And we're going to continue to expand on this because I have so much to share. I have so much information that I want to give to you. But there is a great YouTube channel, and it's called Orion Affirmations. Orion Affirmations. This dude makes affirmation songs, and he's a newer channel, but he literally creates these songs that are like, "I'm so wonderful, I'm so this, I'm so that," and it is empowering. It is something that you can listen to, and it's like, if when you hear it, like, it made me laugh because I'm like, wow, this dude literally, and then I was like, no, this is who I am. This is who you are. Know that about yourself. You will attract the people and the circumstances into your life that tell you what you're saying is true. Because while I'm sitting here telling you all about these kind of woo-woo ideas and quantum physics and quantum leaping and quantum shifting and source energy and mind sight, your brain is still a physical brain, and it has one job, and it is to prove you right. So it literally scans your environment every single day to support the things that you're thinking about. Your brain is literally I want to tell you that you are right about every single thing that you think, feel, and believe all day long. It's its job. It is its job to look for the evidence in our reality so that we can know we're right. So you can be right about anything. If you want to be right about the fact that you're alone, that nobody loves you, nobody cares about you, you're going to find evidence to support that you are right. However, if you believe, "I am loved, I am supported, I am prioritized, I am always chosen, I am always appreciated," and you know that the reason you are is because you are the source of those things. You are the source of love just by being you. Thank you for watching. I know that this message served you well. Keep shining that light because the world needs it. Take care.